हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे फोर्स के बारे में। तो व्हाट इज फोर्स यहाँ पे हमें दिया गया है। वीडियो का जो मोटिव है वो ये है कि हम फोर्स को समझे कि फोर्स क्या है। तो अभी तक आपने देखा होगा कि आप फोर्स को ऐसे जानते होंगे कि मान लो आपके सामने यहाँ पे कोई बॉक्स रखा हुआ है, ठीक है, और आप यहाँ से क्या कर रहे हो, धक्का लगा रहे हो। धक्का लगा रहे हो तो आप क्या कर रहे हो, इसको फोर्स लगा रहे हो। क्या लगा रहे हो, फोर्स लगा रहे हो, या आप इसको खींच रहे हो। तो किसी भी अगर मैं बहुत छोटे लेवल पे बात करूं तो किसी भी बॉडी को पुश या पुल करना क्या होता है, फोर्स लगाना हम उसको बोलते हैं। आप किसी बॉडी को पुश कर रहे हो, पुल कर रहे हो, उसको हम फोर्स लगाना बोलते हैं। लेटर ऑन जब आप आगे जाते हो तो आपको पता चलता है कि न्यूटन का जो सेकंड लॉ था वो था F इज इक्वल्स टू माइनस dp/dt, यानी कि मोमेंटम की रेट ऑफ चेंज। या मैं बोल सकता हूं कि किसी भी बॉडी की आप वेलोसिटी को चेंज कर दो, यानी कि चेंज इन वेलोसिटी का जो रीजन होता है वो क्या होता है, फोर्स होता है। अगर कोई चीज रुकी हुई है तो उसको चला दे, ठीक है, ऐसा फिनोमेना है फोर्स। अगर कोई चीज रुकी हुई है तो उसको चला दे, और कोई चीज अगर चल रही है कांस्टेंट स्पीड से, लेट से ये कोई बॉक्स है, ट्रॉली है, इस पे व्हील्स लगे हुए हैं, ये 5 मीटर पर सेकंड से चल रही है, ठीक है, चल रही है। अब मैंने क्या किया, इस पे धक्का लगाना स्टार्ट कर दिया थोड़ी देर बाद, तो इसकी स्पीड बढ़ने लग गई। तो इसकी स्पीड का चेंज होने का रीजन क्या था, इसकी स्पीड का चेंज होने का रीजन था ये फोर्स। यानी कि जो कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट कांस्टेंट स्पीड से चल रहा है उसकी स्पीड को बदल दे, और जो रुका हुआ है उसको चला दे, और चलते हुए को रोक दे। तो ये सारे एग्जाम्पल ही आपके किसके एग्जाम्पल्स हैं, फोर्स के एग्जाम्पल्स हैं। तो मैं बोल सकता हूं कि फोर्स एक ऐसा रीजन है या एक ऐसा फिनोमिना है जो कांस्टेंट स्पीड वाली चीजों को तो क्या कर देता है, स्पीड चेंज कर देता है। बस स्पीड में चेंज है उसका रीजन है। चल रही है तो रोक सकता है, रुकी हुई है तो चल सकती है, कांस्टेंट स्पीड से चल रही है तो स्पीड बढ़ सकती है, घट सकती है। क्या है, रीजन इन चेंज ऑफ स्पीड, रीजन फॉर चेंज ऑफ स्पीड। तो छोटे लेवल पे हम इसकी डेफिनेशन अभी यही रख सकते हैं कि भाई रीजन ऑफ चेंज ऑफ स्पीड जो होता है वो क्या होता है, फोर्स होता है। या हम समझ सकते हैं कि एनी काइंड ऑफ पुश और पुल, अगर किसी भी तरह का आप किसी चीज को धक्का देते हैं या फिर उसको खींचते हैं तो आप इसका मतलब उस पर फोर्स लगा रहे हैं। तो बिल्कुल बेसिक डेफिनेशंस की बात करूं तो इन चीजों से आप फोर्स को समझ सकते हैं।
Contact and non-contact forces. I am pushing this toy car with my hand. While here I am moving it with the help of magnet. Is there anything different between these two movements? Now let us look at another example. I am lifting these paper pieces with my hand. I am lifting these paper pieces with the comb after rubbing it with my hair. Can you tell what was the difference between these two movements? Moving of car and lifting of paper involved touching of hand to the actual object being moved. In other instances, magnet was used to move the car. We know that similar poles of magnet repel each other. Small magnet attached to the car and magnet in hand repelled each other. And charged comb was used to lift the paper pieces. The rubbing of comb with your hair resulted in accumulation of electrons on the comb. These electrons have charges associated with it. They are not moving, they are static. Hence, it is called as electrostatic force. As you know, external force is required for an object to move. In the example we just saw, there were two types of forces, contact forces and non-contact forces. When force is applied by touching the object, it is called contact force. When force is applied without touching the object, it is called non-contact force. Can you tell what force is causing this fruit to fall? Yes, it is our earth which is attracting towards it. It is gravitational force which is pulling it down. Is it contact or non-contact force? Take the help of your friends to find out. Now that we have learned about contact and non-contact forces, here are some examples for you to find out and categorize. Dog being pulled by owner. Football kicked in the air. Ball hit by the bat. Fridge door getting closed automatically. Soft drink can moved by a charged PVC pipe. children engaged in the fight. Magnetic force, electrostatic force, and gravitational force are non-contact forces. Muscular force is an example of contact force. Friction. Let me take this compass box and try to push it. It takes some effort to move it forward. What is preventing its movement? I am pushing. I am applying force. Direction of my force is towards your right. There must be some other force which is trying to oppose this. This force is called friction. When two objects in contact move relative to each other, there is a force which resists the movement. This force is called friction. Frictional force acts in a direction opposite to the movement. If movement is in this direction, then frictional force will be in this direction. Friction is often regarded as a bad force. Many times it reduces the efficiency of machines. It is, however, an essential force for things like nails, screw, and matches. Without friction, we could not walk, play a violin, or pick up a glass of water. Let us place this compass box on the wooden platform. I will push this compass box with my finger to your right. It is not very easy to move. There is some resistance to the movement. I will tie thread to this compass box. I can pull the box with the thread. I will place some coins here. Weight of these coins can move the compass box. When I place 8 coins, box moves to your right. How can I reduce the friction between compass box and a platform? Think about it. Let us sprinkle some talcum powder on the surface. How many coins will be required to move the compass box now? Surface is smoother. Less coins are needed to move the same compass box. It required only 6 coins to move instead of 8 coins. If instead of this compass box I use identical plastic box, do I need the same amount of coins to make it move? Let's try. Fewer coins were required to move the plastic box. The amount of the friction depends on the materials from which the two surfaces are made. Friction also produces heat. If you rub your hands together quickly, you will feel them get warmer. If I rub my hands and then place the butter, it melts quickly. Let me rub my hands like this. This video is taken by normal camera. Instead of normal camera, we can also capture this movement of hands with thermogram. This camera captures various regions of heat on my hand. Very hot areas are indicated by yellow color and colder areas are indicated by violet color. You can see the yellow region where heat is generated due to friction. Let us take this compass box. Let us slide it on a table by giving it a gentle tap. Now spray water on the table, simulating a light shower of rain. What happens now when you give the object the same size tap? Now add a few drops of vegetable oil on the surface of the water and give the same tap. What happens now? This is similar to a situation in the rainy seasons on the road. Roads are wet and there is an oil spill from the vehicles. It is very dangerous to ride on these roads. Vehicle might skid and cause an accident. When I place this duster on the table, are all areas of the duster in contact with all areas of the table? I mean 100% of it? Not really. At very minute level or microscopic level, it looks something like this. Only a small fraction of the total area is in contact. It looks like mountains and valleys. Friction can be a useful force because it prevents our shoes slipping on the pavement when we walk and stops cars' tires skidding on the road. Find out more such instances around you where friction is considered useful. Balanced and unbalanced forces. Let me tie this thread to this duster. When I lift it, thread gets stretched. Weight of the duster is pulling it in a downward direction. while tension in thread is pulling it up. If mass of the duster is 100 grams, how much force I am using to hold it back? If mass of a duster is 100 grams, its weight is approximately 1 Newton. That is mass multiplied by g. Acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.8 meter per second squared. 100 grams equals to 0.1 kg. Weight is equal to m multiplied by g is equal to 0.1 multiplied by 9.8, which is approximately 1 Newton. If I take spring balance and measure the force, it is 1 Newton. It is same as the weight of the duster. We can say that tension in the thread and weight of the duster are equal in magnitude or value of the force but opposite in direction. They are balanced forces. If I put this wooden block inside water, it floats. It is floating because the weight of the block is balanced by upward force exerted by water. This is called buoyant force, which we will talk about later. These two forces are balanced. If I put some weight on the wooden block, the forces won't be equal. The forces will be unbalanced. Wooden block with added weight will sink as a result. If I place this book on the wooden platform, gravity pulls the book downwards. Wooden platform pushes the book upward. As two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, book is said to be in equilibrium. There are no other forces acting on the book. Book is at rest. Let me take this writing pad and put book on it. If I lift one end of the writing pad slowly, what will happen? Book will slide down the pad after some time, when it reaches a particular angle with the ground. Why book did not slide immediately when I started lifting it? It was friction which was preventing the book from sliding initially. This force is unbalanced force and book changes its state of motion. Unbalanced forces causes acceleration. It will eventually stop. Let me put matchbox on the pad. Will it slide at the same angle like the book? How will you determine if force on an object are balanced or unbalanced? First, you should find the forces acting on the object along with their direction. If two individual forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, then they are balanced forces. If magnitude is different, then forces are unbalanced. We will take help of simulation. There are three forces acting on the object: gravity, normal force, and friction. When writing pad is lifted, force due to gravity, that is the weight of an object, is applied in two directions. One along the plane and another perpendicular to the plane. As we increase the angle with the table, weight part along the plane increases. At one point, it is more than the frictional force acting in the opposite direction. The forces are now unbalanced. Object slides down the writing pad. You must have played tug of war. As long as the two sides apply equal force, center of the rope remains at one location. When applied force are unequal, the side with more force wins. Summary. We discussed about two types of forces: contact forces and non-contact forces. We also looked at the force due to friction. Find out more about the role of friction in everyday life.